Whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right. Screen look okay? You got it. Cool. Happy Sunday, everyone. freeCodeCamp, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys reaching out. I wanted to talk to you guys about being a business analyst and kind of what that is. It's pretty much an umbrella name and can mean so many things for different corporations. So I'll kind of tell you guys what I do and a little bit of my background, and then how coders, developers, anyone who's not a business analyst, how you can benefit from your company's business analyst. So born and raised in Oklahoma, love it here. I have also traveled quite a bit. So even though born and raised here, I am not just familiar with the southern states. Been to Macedonia, been to a lot of the states in the United States, been to Europe, uh, all parts of Europe over there, and plan to do a lot more traveling in my future. Worked a lot of various jobs too. That's really what drove me to technology, is when I was deducing, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with life. I didn't want to go and waste a lot of money on college when I didn't even know what I wanted to do. But just working lots of various jobs, mostly bartending, uh, working at breweries. I realized that I really enjoyed tech. I really enjoyed how technology can either help or hurt you, and working with it is kind of like a ball of fire, manipulating fire. You got to be careful so it doesn't hurt you, but it's really beautiful to have in front of you when you use it right. So with that being said, I already had an associate's, and since I found out I wanted to be with technology, I went to UCO and got my BAA in MIS, which is Management of Information Systems, and basically just never looked back. I learned how to do a little coding, a little scripting, working with cloud. Talked to my degree head and was able to um, substitute one of my classes to get AWS Solutions Architect Associate certificate, and gave them the contingency of, if I passed, then I would pass the class, and if I failed the certificate, then I failed the class, which was kind of a crazy thing, because at the time, about 2 or so years ago, it was the fifth most prestigious certification in the world. And I did not know how hard it was going to be, but I buckled down for 4 months and got that certificate. And about a month before I fully graduated from UCO with my degree, I was applying for jobs and actually got a job as a business analyst. I didn't really know that's what I wanted, but after reading the specifications of the job, I realized that that fit me to a T, which kind of leads us to the next slide, which is, like, what is a business analyst? How do I even become one if I'm interested? Textbook definition, everyone can look it up. Pretty straightforward, just bridges the gap of understanding between business and technology, to accurately define software requirements and carefully control scope, because you can't have technology without business, and you can't have business without technology. So a business analyst combines those two, where you're not down in the nitty gritty of the business side. You're not hitting pavement, knocking on doors, getting new business, and you're also not deep in code, hooking all that stuff up to the back end and all that. You're basically the gap in between both of those. So my definition, I think we are the glue of most companies, in the sense of we know the business side and we know the tech side. So we're able to sit in on meetings and talk to clients and tell them yes to all their asks and their needs and their wants, without having to tell them, if there is a no. We don't have to go too deep without telling them why it can't be a no, but we find a way to nicely tell them no, or mostly turn everything into a yes, which is my goal. My goal is to turn everything into a yes. I very rarely say no. And that's what I love about my job. That's why I like technology. I love looking at what we offer and how I can manipulate that to provide that client with a yes. And that can be people who already have services with us. We do API integrations with third parties. We do credit card processing, custom applications, form builders, you name it, we make it. So, like I said, I really like to look at what we can do for people so I can tell them yes if they have something with us currently, or if they're looking to come with us. I love sitting on meetings and hearing their wants, asks, and needs, especially new ones, and telling and kind of looking at our project managers and our developers and say, hey, I know we can do something for that. After this meeting, let's huddle and talk about that. But another important thing that a lot of people don't realize is because business analysts know the business and the tech side, that means we're working with, the C-suite, the chief technology officers, the chief operation officers. We're reporting to them. So that's a really big thing because they don't have time to know what a cron is. They might have not even heard it before until you guys have to do one for a client. Same with containers. Examples right in front of you, penetration findings. They don't know what that means. So it's up to you to have to give them like 1 to 2 sentences what it is, because if you go in the nitty gritty, that's not their job. They don't want to hear it. And that's fine because that's not their job. So that's kind of another thing that business analysts do is we rub elbows with, kind of the decision makers of companies, which is a very good thing to know that business analysts do that. And I'll talk about that a little more in the final slide. And then like how to become a business analyst. This was one of the cooler things and why I knew I wanted to be a business analyst, because I used technology when I was a bartender and a server to my advantage. And that's basically what a business analyst is. I used my serving and bartending and my problem solving skills, basically treating every person that walked into the door that wanted a cocktail, wanted a beer. I would break it down to them, why they want that beer, why they don't want it. I would ask for their needs, their requirements, and I would fill those with food, beverage. Even if we didn't have something that day, I'd straight, first and foremost tell them, hey, we don't have this today. Don't know if it's something that you're into, but we don't have that. So treating every customer like a project, really what I was able to manipulate my experience to put on resumes, where I was able to get the business analyst position because they were able to see that I did have quote unquote comparable or experience as a business analyst, just how I manipulated my stuff. And yeah, the subreddit business analyst on Reddit, that one is so cool. If you're into business analysts, I would love to watch people post a problem that I had already had either the year before or something, and then I solved it, or a problem that I never came across. I'm like, I could see myself coming across that problem, and I would watch much more experienced business analysts answer the questions, and I would basically just a thesaurus of information if I ever need it. So the last and final slide, and really what I wanted to come across the most on, is how do you benefit from your company's business analyst? And it goes back to the fact that the business analyst is kind of the glue. They translate client needs to developers and help run sprints. At least we do. That's I'm not going to go too deep into that because those are two different positions. But for us, we kind of run sprints as well. So I'm rubbing elbows with developers and rubbing elbows with the business side. So how you can utilize your company's business analyst or whatever your company might call them is the fact that they rub elbows with the business side and C-suite and clients. They really know if like a developer has a really good idea. Let's say I'm a developer, I have a really good idea for something I want to code on the company's time and do it for the company. It really, you should still develop the idea, but run it across your favorite business analyst or a business analyst, because they're going to give you some good empirical feedback on if it will be utilized externally. And even though you might, as a developer, know internally it would be utilized, talking to the business analyst would be good because they rub elbows with the C-suite and they can tell you that, oh, I just talked to the CEO yesterday and they really have all their priorities nailed down this year. money is extrapolated to all these things. We're kind of tight this year. If I were you, I would spend this year developing that idea, flushing more things out, and then let's get you on the board for next year. Let's talk to them in November or September and get you on the board next year. That way, the C-suite can align their priorities with possibly a very good idea from a developer internal. Um, so so that's kind of really the biggest thing I wanted to come across on this talk was if you have an idea, run it, spend like 5 minutes just asking a BA to hear you out. They're going to give you really good feedback and probably going to be like, that is a beautiful idea, but this is why it would not work with any of our clients. That's a 1% solution. We're looking for a 99% solution. But you can tweak it this way to hit more of that 99%. So yeah, just the come away is to just run it by your business analyst if you have one or someone like it, because the worst thing is spending months on something and you think it's such a brilliant idea, but the business side of the company doesn't align with that. That's always very hurting because I've done things like that, and the developers are like, "Whoa, we got to do server upgrades this year. That's going to take almost 2 years. This and that, and this and that." And then I'm off in the corner licking my wounds. So yeah, just run it by business side. Get you a buddy who's a business analyst. That way, y'all can in tandem do things because business side and tech side together are such a benefit to each other. But I appreciate everyone's time. I am not particularly going for anyone in the Super Bowl, but hope everyone has a good Sunday. And there's my email. There's the subreddit. And yeah, everyone have a good week. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the great talk. Let's see if we have any questions. Here's one. How necessary is a certificate or degree for applying for BA positions? Are there any online resources like freeCodeCamp for someone who would want to become a business analyst?
I don't know about freeCodeCamp, and I know there are business analyst certificates. I don't know the names of them off the top of my head, but I will. Um, I mean, it's one of those like double-edged sword things of like, how do I get experience if I've never been a business analyst? And being a business analyst, they want experience. So I would say it wouldn't be too bad to get a business analyst certificate, but also at the same time, kind of doing what I did, where I manipulated what I have done, like running bars, being a server, being a bartender. That's kind of like being a business analyst. You're solving problems with what you have. So I would say yes and no. It's kind of up if you want. If the money's not going to hurt you, and looking at the criteria, and you lack that knowledge, I would say go for it. Don't break the bank because certificates aren't everything, especially in technology. But if that's going to get you in the door, I would probably go for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there's no other immediate questions, thank you again, Patrick. And let's go on to